Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. So today's video is a drawing of my OC, well, full-on painting actually. This time in particular, it was actually a challenge for myself, not just doing a character, but actually creating, a little bit more of a scene. I have been a little bolder in adding in, furniture and maybe a proper wall behind the character that 2 paintings ago. The last one I did intentionally make a little bit more abstract, but like more thoughtful abstract, so it wasn't just like floating, thoughtless backgrounds. But this one I just wanted to, I guess, be more chill. And my OC in his room kind of thing. So the original concept for this actually was, I believe, the character being in his childhood bedroom or something like that. The original first rough sketch that I had created for this that was in my iPad, I believe I sketched out maybe 7 or 8 months ago. It was around the time when I was working on creating all the Artist Alley stuff for Game Expo, so I was just mostly focusing on fan art and other stuff. I in particularly had a good idea to pump out and create as merch versus just some rando OC sketches I wasn't even entirely 100% sure of. And also like the confidence of it, I wasn't really sure if I could like pull off the lying down pose properly. I remember the Al Haytham fan art that I did. That took so much effort to actually just create, and I guess the skeleton or the anatomy of him essentially before I could actually commit to doing the final. I also, looking here, I'm just like doing way less passes, I guess, in line art. I mean, so far right now, my biggest enemy is clothing folds, and so I feel like for this one, it didn't turn out as bad. Like, I know I keep meaning to look it up because somebody told me there was like, oh, there's actually like 7 folds, and and I was like, oh damn, I'll throw all that art schooling from high school and onwards, and I don't recall anybody teaching us that it was like particularly specific types of folds. And I find my clothing folds feel very heavy, like the clothing is like too thick a lot of the time and just going in the wrong directions. I'm always like trying to picture in my head, okay, like where is it pulling from, where is it tightening, how would it go, how's the anatomy working and the proportions and stuff like that. So even in this line phase, I think I probably have it wrong here and there. Now here's where I kind of start with a shadow buildup just to get like an idea of it. I wasn't really sure if this was going to be like a full committed shadow layer because I've on occasion just painted in shadows just as like an idea and not actually used the first initial shadow pass layer I committed to, but I was like, you know what, I think it's kind of working, and I'm pretty sure I stuck with it. And then I was just like doing base colors because I always find that's very helpful. I can't believe it's already like halfway through February as I'm recording this. It's just a little bit more than halfway actually. I should really be working on Anime North stuff, but I've been really dragging my feet because just like the previous convention, I get pretty stressed out when I don't have like a full solid confirmation that I am in. Now, my friend obviously is in, and it's her table, but the problem is they didn't bill the secondary portion of it to her yet. So that kind of stresses me out because, like, I had to fill in the form and everything and show off my portfolio and stuff like that. So I'm like, I feel like they're reviewing it still, which is like stressful. So I'm like, well, like they could just straight up like reject me after the fact or something, which is, I feel like it's almost like a valid reason to kind of drag my feet and not like fully commit to any new merch if I might actually not be 100% in. It mostly has to do with not so much like the drawing part because I'm always going to be drawing regardless. It's the, planning out specific merch. It is a commitment because then you're like prepping the files. That takes an extra time for merchandise versus just a drawing. And also certain merchandise will take a while to arrive versus others, like charms take a while. I was also researching foil printing. I really want to do a couple of them because I feel like shiny attracts people, and I love it personally. And I tend to love to sell what I love, sort of thing, because I find it just makes sense because I'll put more love in that thing. Also, I've been really struggling trying to find exactly where to do foil printing around here, and it was like no luck on anything like local, at least. I imagine that'd be expensive anyway. So Vograce does have it. It's just sizing. It would be different from all my other prints. So I'm gonna have to think about that if I really want to commit to doing any of those. But maybe I'll just do small orders. Going back to the artwork, after finishing all the basically main coloring, I decided I wanted to add stickers and stuff like that, just like extra little elements that are kind of like fun. And also, I think I mentioned this in the post of just like the drawing itself, I tend to love to add scattered papers in scenes. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know. I'm scatterbrained. Like, why that is an obsession of mine. So those made a comeback. Those made a comeback the second I draw a scene. So a particular struggle I find that I've had with drawing scenes is just kind of for them to feel like they're lived in. Or, well, telling a story. Because I believe it's just like the things that, you know, you have around you kind of tell a story of something about you, you know, it's just like certain memories and like what your likes and dislikes. And, well, mostly your likes. I don't think you'd really have dislikes all over your home. That'd be kind of weird. It's like, yes, this collection of books I have because I hate books. Actually, wait, no, that's a lie. Some people do tend to put up a whole persona of themselves as a lie, so maybe that's not entirely accurate either, right? Alas, it takes a lot to practice, and again, I haven't drawn an actual scene in ages, so if I'm still having issues with that, it's because I'm not constantly drawing it, and I don't even remember when I last drew that table. It was like when I was drawing like a comic page or something, a one-off. The final process, of course, I just end up bringing into Clip Studio once again. Because I just find it's the best in terms of just like adjusting, because again, adjustment layers are just not a thing in Procreate, which really pisses me off. And the artwork is complete. So let me know what you think, and if you've gotten this far, I hope you can drop a like, and if you'd like to see more, subscribe. See you on the next one.